Hey guys, welcome back to the garage. It's an important day around here. My '89 Saab turbo convertible engine left the factory attached to a 3-speed automatic. Well, that thing is gone. Today, it's a 5-speed. One of many unusual engineering choices by Saab 900 engineers was to mount the engine directly on top of the transmission. Now, as we detailed back in episode 2, this helps the Saab put power to the ground with minimal torque steer because the drive axles are roughly the same length on both sides. It also means the engine and transmission come out as a single unit. It was surprisingly easy to separate the engine from the manual transmission out of the donor car. That's why I didn't expect the automatic version to put up such a fight. The Bentley manual says the engine must be balanced and then lifted vertically straight up off the block, or the flex plate will bind to the housing. And man, are they right. Sure didn't help that my engine is resting on an old shipping container, leaving it tilted a few degrees to one side. I didn't get it right the first time, the second, third, or even fourth attempt. Finally, after patience and adjustment, it is free. The oil pickup tube from the donor car had to go in place of the automatic version out of my car because they're different lengths. All right, so the oil pickup tube goes back in place. It was no big deal, bolted right up with just a little bit of fettling. An air impact wrench sure makes quick work of unwinding the 17mm bolts securing the automatic flex plate to the crankshaft. That made way for the heavier flywheel from the manual transmission to bolt in its place. So a top tip that I think it was a channel viewer shared with me is do not use the bolts from the automatic flex plate. Make sure you save and use the bolts from the manual because these are shorter. For the record, note that the shorter bolts are a different size as well. They're 19mm. Don't forget thread locker and check them for torque. There's a thin metal gasket that goes between the aluminum transmission case and the cast iron block. Bentley calls for anaerobic gasket sealer only on the ends, but I had plenty in the tube and decided to seal it all the way around. This stuff cures only in the absence of oxygen, so don't be surprised to come back days later and find that some that squeeze out from between your gaps is still soft and tacky. That's perfectly normal. After all the trouble of getting the engine off the automatic transmission, I expected a heck of a struggle lowering the block onto the 5-speed and getting it set just right. Well, the good news is it came together without the need for foul language. Because I had carefully bagged and labeled the transmission bolts during disassembly, everything was at hand to button things up and torque it all down to spec. Check this out. Here's another piece of progress. My valve cover is back from refinishing, now bolted into place with a fresh gasket, of course. Rather than basic black, I had mine powder coated in a mottled gunmetal gray. I think it's going to look great. A nice contrast to the shiny black of the freshly cleaned engine bay. So next time, guys, it's all about the clutch, the pressure plate, the disc, and then we go inside the car to finish up that pedal assembly and tackle the shift linkage. Subscribe. Hope I'll see you next time around. Take care.